Hi, very good morning to all of you. Hi, very good morning to all of you. Hi, very good morning to all of you. Yeah. Yes, Rambasak, thank you for confirmation. Yeah, just we can wait for 5 minutes, then we can start our discussion now. Bhakti, the revision schedule is already available in YouTube community post. You can check it out. Nani, Ravi, hi. So all of you, very good morning. Yes, very good morning. So now we can start our discussion, ma. Yes. So today our agenda to complete first 5 chapters. After that we can take a break. Basic concepts, return of income, income tax authorities, assessment procedure, search, seizure and survey. First of all, how many MCQs I compiled from the ICMA resources? 481 MCQs totally I compiled. Some of the MCQs may be repeated MCQs is there. Ignore that repeated MCQs. And here, I want to tell you one thing. If you prepared all these MCQs along with the background conceptual knowledge. So example, background conceptual knowledge means, yes, for this MCQ, what is the reason? If you know the reason also, without by heading the answer and without by heading the theory MCQs, if you are knowing the reason somehow, definitely you will get 26 marks in MCQs, definitely. Definitely. Yes, how many marks you can get? Definitely you will get 26 marks. Sir, these MCQs are enough. Yes, enough. First, you can prepare these MCQs. After that, you can prepare all other MCQs. Because here that MCQs are given based on the past exam resources compilation. Past exam resources compilation. Yes, minimum you will get 26 marks if you prepare these 481 MCQs along with the along with the reason if you know. Next, next. Sir, at the time of doing these MCQs, I will explain the background reason. Maybe some of the students are want to get the answers like, okay, answer. They are habituated for this type of study that is not at all useful. If you know the reason why this is an answer for this MCQ, then definitely you will get 26 mark. And next, in group 3, yes, in group 3, I think we have a law, SFM, DT, SCM. So in this okay, MCQ part, okay, I don't want to talk about descriptive. MCQ part, the first one, law paper MCQs will become very easy. The reason is direct MCQs they will give you. Second, yes, DT MCQs only will be easy. Yes, order of easy or order of yes, difficult to easy if you are observing. Third one, SCM is easy. Fourth one, SFM is definitely you have to do that hard work for giving the answers for that MCQs also. So law is very easy, then after DT, then after SCM and SFM. So our subject DT is easy only. But if you know that all the MCQs related conceptual knowledge, straight away I want to start with the basic concepts. Shall I start, ma? Yes. First MCQ. Partnership firm is a resident in India. Then benefit of marginal relief is available in the following cases. Can you tell me? Marginal relief is available only because of what reason, ma? Surcharge. Only because of what, ma? Surcharge. What is the reason for getting the marginal relief? Surcharge. Now, can you tell me, for the partnership firm, what is the basic limits for surcharge? What is the basic limits for surcharge? I think you know, more than 1 crore. Yes, more than 10 crore. Yes, you know, yes, always 12% only for partnership firm LLP. So that's why here our answer is more than 1 crore marginally. If you have an 1 lakh, 2 lakh, 3 lakh, then you will get the marginal relief. That's why answer is what, must see. You have to remember this point. 1 crore, 10 crore is a surcharge basic limit. 10 crore is not a basic limit, to be honest, because yes, there is no increasing the rate after 10 crores. But okay, for comparison purpose only we are learning, but we can't treat it as a basic limits for surcharge. For partnership firm, what is the basic limit for surcharge? 1 crore only. Okay, 1 crore only. Are you clear? Next MCQ. Cooperative society has a total income of 42 lakh. It is eligible for deduction under section 80P. It is eligible for deduction under section 80P. But what is the tax liability under section 115 BAD? What is that 115 BAD? You know, 22% tax plus 10% fixed surcharge, 4% health and education cess, altogether 25.168% is there. Now, yes, if you are following the 115 BAD, then there is no chapter 6A deductions. That's why total income, yes, total income 42 lakh, and they are asking the tax liability without education cess and without surcharge. That's why just apply 22%. You will get 42 lakh into 22%. I think you will get 9 lakh 24,000. In exam, you have to verify whether they are asking complete tax liability or only income tax liability. You have to verify. Next one. Okay, this is the biggest MCQ in our entire discussion. Foreign company is, which is not a domestic company. So this is the meaning of, yes, foreign company means first they are describing the definition of an domestic company. After that, they are given the definition of foreign company, which is not a domestic company. So if you are keeping that answers as an A and C, that is wrong only. Remember, foreign company means, yes, it is a company which is not a domestic company. Next, question number 4. Yes, Total income of a resident SC Mr. Ram is an 50 lakh 65,000. Okay, 50 lakh 65,000. They are asking the tax liability and after the marginal relief. But if they are not given this point of marginal relief also, you have to think about the marginal relief, because for that individual SSC, what is the basic limit for surcharge? 50 lakh. So that's why over and above marginally we have a total income. That's why we have to calculate the, yes, what is that marginal relief here. So if they are asking the tax liability, but we know here we are getting the marginal relief. That's why how to calculate, I will tell you. Step 1, tax on total income. Yes, you can do tax on total income including surcharge. Tax on total income including surcharge. That means please calculate the tax on 50 lakh 65,000. 50 lakh what 65,000. Plus can you tell me surcharge at the rate of what Any idea? 10%. Next, step 2, tax on basic limit. Tax on what basic limit plus I think we haven't 1/3, whatever that extra income is over and above the basic limit for surcharge, we want to surrender that extra income. So can you tell me what is that basic limit in this question? Tax on 50 lakh. Please calculate tax on 50 lakh plus extra income, but here the 50 lakh only we have, so that's why no need to add surcharge in this point because if 50 lakh exceed, then we can include surcharge. Here also tax on basic limit means we have to include surcharge, but here there is no applicability of surcharge here because the total income is just 50 lakh. Now what is that excess income over 50 lakh? 1 lakh. So please calculate step 1 and step 2. Yes, definitely step 3, yes, here we are writing step 3 is nothing but computation of what marginal relief. Definitely you can get this MCQ. Yes, what is that? Step 3 So I want to know the step 1 is more than step 1 is more than step 2. Yes, you will get the marginal relief here because I haven't capability to pay this amount only, but they are asking this amount. Yes, here we can get marginal relief. Yes, you can calculate on your own marginal relief, that is step 1 minus step 2. Step 4, whatever the tax liability we got in step 1 minus step 3 marginal relief. Step 1 tax liability you have to pay, but we are providing the marginal relief. That's why answer you can get as on step 2 only. For this we have to add what health and education says. Definitely you will get an answer as an 14,32,600. You can try these computations on your own. Clear? Sorry. Sorry. Extra income here 65,000. It's my mistake only. Sorry. Now, are you clear, So next MCQ, fifth one. In case of Mr. Amar, assessing officer observed that purchased diamonds for 18 lakh. Remember, Mr. Amar purchased the diamonds for 18 lakh, which is not recorded in the books of accounts, and he is not giving that any explanation for this. Then this is an undisclosed income. What is the tax on undisclosed income? 115 BBE. Here, hero, please listen the question properly. Assume that SSC opted old rates. Okay. Here I am given the clearly note point as an SSC opted the old rates. Please use the old rates, then you will get the 14,32,600. No. Here they are asking separately education says, that's why only 60% only the tax. 60% tax 25% health and surcharge, 4% health and education cess, but they are asking only tax rate ma 60% is an correct one. Next one, question number 6, the same, but remember after marginal relief, what is a tax liability they are asking ma? SSC age is nothing but how many years ma? 51 years. Sorry, SSC age is 52 years, his income is 51 lakh, and you can calculate the tax liability. Yes, but SSC here also following the old rates, please calculate. And this is in handwritten notes, I already solved as a descriptive question. Please go through it, and you have to compute all the steps. Step 1, step 2, step 3. In step 3 you will get the marginal relief. Step 4 is nothing but step 1 minus step 3, plus for that you have to add the health and education cess. Health and education cess, definitely you will get the 14,69,000. You will get 14,69,000 as an answer, definitely. Okay, are you clear up to now? All of you, please give me confirmation about understanding of the MCQs. These are only MCQs you will get. Sir, many students are preparing that MCQs from the parallel universe like space, other institute materials like faculty made material. I can also prepare the hundreds of an MCQs by using the concept book. But that there is no use ma. But first, if you prepare the past examination resources, definitely you can expect 10 MCQs that are equal to 20 marks in your exam perfectly. So how you can read that 1000 or 2000 number of MCQs, the first of all, within the limited time. So that's why first prepare that institute compiled MCQs, then after you can prepare others. Question number 7, Arun age 50 years, he having the business loss 15 lakh ma, unexplained cash credit 20 lakh. Can you tell me if any unexplained cash credit is there, that is an undisclosed income, and that we have to pay the section by using 115 BBE at the rate of 78% effectively. But remember, we can't set off any business losses while you are calculating this. We can't set off the what ma? Business loss. We can't set off what ma? Unabsorbed depreciation. This will be taxed at a flat 78%. Ma, I don't know. You don't have any energy to calculate the steps also. I can't say anything, ma. First calculate the answer, then you will get the answer by directly. So I am saying final answer here. If you followed the steps, then you will get the answer as an 14,32,600. Please follow the old rates. Old rates means 2,50,000. Yes. What is that ma? 2,50,000 to 5 lakh, 5 lakh to 10 lakh, above 10 lakh. That is only you have to follow. And if you don't have the knowledge about the calculation of marginal relief, refer the notes, and you have many examples regarding this ma. Okay. Now, you can't take the anything ma, flat 78%. You can't take any deductions also from this directly. 78% like 20 lakh into, and you can apply the 78%. You will get 15,60,000 ma. Yes, next MCQ. During the course of survey in the premises of Jagan and Co, stock of goods purchased for 10 lakh found not recorded in the books. That means how much amount is an undisclosed one ma? 10 lakh. So 115 BE, sorry, BB, sorry ma. BB. Can you tell me what is that 115 BBE tax liability we can calculate ma? 115 BBE tax liability we can calculate at the rate of 78%. They are asking including surcharge and health and education cess on 10 lakh ma. So they are saying business loss is there, and yes ma, incurred the business loss is there, and brought forward business loss is there. That means prior year loss, present year loss is there. Can you tell me, can I set up these business losses against this undisclosed income? No. On 10 lakh, we have to apply flat 78%. You will get the 7,80,000. 7,80,000. Now, next, remember question number 9. Normally, what is that maximum surcharge rate we can have under 115 BAC tax regime? If you followed that 115 BAC for an individual, maximum surcharge rate is I think 25% we have. If you are following the normal tax rate or optional tax rates or old tax rate, 37% is there. But if any SSE having the long-term capital gain or short-term capital gain, long-term capital gain, short-term capital gain, akka 78% means abbo. I don't know, maybe you are not following the classes from the starting. 60% plus 25% plus 4%, totally this is only education says effectively you will get 78% akka. Yes, and if you haven't dividend income, what is the maximum surcharge rate applicable on these incomes? 15% only. More than 15% you can't apply the surcharge on these three incomes. So then what about other incomes? On other incomes, maybe you can apply the maximum surcharge rate as in 25% or 37%. More discussion we have in the capital gain notes. You can verify the capital gain chapter notes also. Next, question number 10. What is the maximum surcharge rate on the long-term capital gain? 15. Bala was found the owner of jewelry worth 22,60,000. Yes, what is not recorded in the books of accounts? Can you tell me? Not recorded in the books of account means that is an undisclosed income. On that 22,60,000, what is that surcharge rate we can apply? 78% under 115 BBE. They are asking including surcharge and education cess. Can you tell me? 78% and you will get the answer 17,62,800. Remember, every attempt this is in one fixed MCQ in our exam. Don't forget. And which one of the following is a progressive nature based tax? I think direct tax is a progressive based. Indirect taxes are what? Regressive. These are all our indirect taxes regressive. This is an example of direct tax progressive nature. Can you tell me the progressive nature means nothing but what? Always there is a differentiation between rich and poor. Progressive nature means definitely there is a differentiation between the rich and the poor. From rich person we can collect the more and more type of taxes. From poor person we can collect the less amount of taxes. Sole proprietor liable to tax at a rate. Can you tell me? Sole proprietor means an individual. Individual can be liable for the tax at the rate of what? Slab rates. Yes. 13th MCQ, please refer 13th MCQ. During the survey, a stock of goods are found that is not recorded in the books of account. Last year losses and the prior year losses is there. We can set off no. Directly we can pay the tax on that undisclosed income at the rate of what? 78%. Yes, under section 115 BBE. Yes, what is that? 7,80,000. I think this is a repeated MCQ. Yes, next. Cooperative society engaged in the manufacturing activity. Remember, cooperative society engaged in the manufacturing activity and yes, registration also happened after this date. So, happy. Now, we have to think about the tax liability under section 115 BAE they are asking. So, can you tell me total income is 22,50,000. What is a 115 BAE tax rate? 15% plus 10% fixed surcharge plus 4% health and education cess. They are asking including surcharge and including health and education cess. That is an 17.160 percentage. Yes. Can you tell me 17.160 if you are applying that? Yes, 22,50,000 into 17.160 percentage, you will get the yes 3,86,000 yes 100. 3,86,100. Next one ma, Raghav Industries subjected to search and in the search they found the what is that undisclosed income ma 300 lakh. Ramakrishna Garu, yes, 115 BAD rate, 115 BAD rate is 25.168. 115 BAD rate is 25.168. How you can get 22% plus, 10% plus, 4%? But here our question related to 115 BAE. Okay. Yes. We have an undisclosed income 300 lakh. On that undisclosed income, we have to apply the 78%. Here they are asking the question, we have an unabsorbed depreciation 200 lakh. How much unabsorbed depreciation we can set off? Can you tell me, can we set off any unabsorbed depreciation against the undisclosed income which is liable to taxed under section 115 BBE? No. So that's why answer is nil. We are, what is that amount? How much amount of unabsorbed depreciation is eligible for set off against the cash found in the search? Can you tell me how much amount ma? How much amount? Nil. We can't set off any amount of unabsorbed depreciation, any amount of business loss, any expenditure also we can't set off. Now, question number 16. Ram is found to be the owner of gold chains 50 grams each. Remember, can you tell me, he is an owner for the 2 gold chains ma, each one is in 50 grams and each one value is 1,30,000. Yes, each one value is 1,30,000. Remember, total value of undisclosed income is 1,30,000 into 2. On that we are liable to pay the 78% because these are all the things are not disclosed in the books of account. If AO asking for an information, they are not giving any explanation properly also. So that's why we can treat that as an undisclosed income. 2 lakh, yes ma'am, sorry, 1,30,000 into 2, that is an 2,60,000. On the 2,60,000 you can apply the 78%. How much you will get ma? Yes, that is an answer 2,02,800. Are you clear with the question, sorry, MCQ relating to chapter 1? Yes, please give me confirmation. We are done with the chapter 1 now. Yes, shall we start the chapter 2? Definitely one MCQ that having the 2 marks, definitely having 2 marks MCQ you will get out of these. Yes, 16 MCQ you will get 2 marks MCQ. If not, definitely after that exam you can comment below this video. After exam, if you are not getting any MCQ for 2 marks, definitely you can comment below this video after your exam. If you have MCQ also comment. If you are not getting any MCQ also you can comment. Okay. Now next chapter we can start ma, return of income. Before starting the return of income chapter, first we need to know how many MCQs we have. 29 MCQs we have. Now we can start the each and every MCQ in detailed manner. Shall we start Ra? Now, remember, I want to take the blue color. Yes. A person required to furnish the return of income under section 139(1) for the assessment year 25-26. He furnished his return on 29/12/2025. Can you tell me what is the due date normally? Okay, if tax audit is not there, that is on 31/7/2025 is a due date. He filed the return of income belatedly. belatedly. So that's why we are going to pay the fees under section 234F. But generally, what is that fees under section 234F? Rupees 5,000. But remember, if total income does not exceed, can you tell me? If the total income does not exceed, I will show you the provision also. Total income does not exceed the what 5 lakh. If total income does not exceed the 5 lakh, then fees payable shall not exceed how much amount 1,000. So that's why answer is rupees 1,000. Yes, why rupees 1,000 because total income does not exceed 5 lakh. So that's why answer is B. Shall we go with the second MCQ? Yes. Which one of the following form is used to furnish the return of income? Remember, for the purpose of furnishing the return of income, we have an ITR 1 to yes ma ITR ITR 7 we have, and we have an one more ITR form, ITR B. This is an electronic verification. What is that? Electronic verification. But these are the ITR forms we have. In your free time, you have to refer this content also. Yes, sir. What are the form numbers? Sir, why we have to refer these ITR form numbers? It is an exclusively CMA final syllabus, not covered in CA final also. So that's why, yes, if you spend at least 5 to 10 minutes, if you have an articles exposure, definitely you can get that all the things within 5 minutes. Otherwise also no problem. You can spend some more time, then you can remember these ITR forms. Can you tell me, for the purpose of filing that ITR forms, as rule 12 given the, yes, rule 12 of income tax rules 1962 given the, yes, formats. These formats are given by the CBDT. ITR 1, ITR 2, ITR 3, ITR 4, ITR 5, and we have an ITR 6, ITR 7 we have, and ITR 7 is not a separate form number. Verification of all other ITR 1 to ITR 7, that verification purpose we have to give. Sir, electronically if you have done verification, okay. Sir, if electronic verification is not possible, then we can use the ITR V for doing that what physical verification. That means we have to sign on the physical ITR form and we need to send it to the Bangalore Central Processing Center. That is an ITR V. But they are not given any option. That's why answer is none of the above. Next here, they are given the question So corporate insolvency resolution process is admitted under insolvency bankruptcy code. That means now insolvency resolution professional appointed. Can you tell me, insolvency resolution professional, that is only the IRP, is an appointed by the adjudicating authority. So that person only required to sign on the what return on income. I think this section, you know, section 140. What is that? Section 140. Can you tell me, verification of return of income? Yes, if insolvency bankruptcy code 2016, as per if any liquidation procedure is initiated. So can you tell me who can sign on the return of income? Insolvency resolution professional appointed by the adjudicating authority. Important. Next one. What is the fees So total income is 10 lakh He is filed the return of income in the late manner after the due date. Then what is the fees payable under 234F? Now without any doubt we can pick the answer 5,000. If total income is given the less than 5 lakh, then fees will be what 1,000 rupees. So 234F. Next. Question number 5. Total income does not exceed 5 lakh They are asking what is that fees. So spelling mistake is there. Yes. What is that? What is that fees So 234F. So total income does not exceed 5 lakh 1,000. Repeated MCQ means repeatedly they are given that exam. Yes. If any SSE discovered omission or wrong statement in the bona fide nature, he can file the revised return. Yes, he can file the revised return under section 139 subsection 5. Yes. What is that MCQ Time limit they are asking Can you tell me time limit? Earlier of the following dates. What is that earlier of the following dates The first one, 3 months prior to end of relevant assessment year. Prior to end of RAY. Second one, date of assessment. Date of completion of what assessment. Whichever is earlier. Date of completion of not fine fees. Fine is a different Date of completion of assessment. So answer is yes, this one only you can pick easily. What is that answer? 3. So the same time limit for the belated return as well as what ma revised return also. Revised return and belated return having the same time limits for filing the return. Karta of an HUF required to sign on the return of income of HUF, but he is an absent from India. Can you tell me who can sign ma? Any adult member. So on that occasion I said there is no difference between the female and the male ma. So any adult member can sign on the return of income if Karta is not available. Assessment is not completed, sir. So what is a belated income tax return? If assessment is not completed, then we have to file the return of income 3 months prior to end of the relevant assessment year. Can you tell me what is a 3 months prior to end of the relevant assessment year ma? 31st 12/2025. Next, individual having the business income, what is that ITR form he has to use for the filing of return of income? Yes, please use that ITR forms. If any individual having the business income, definitely if an individual HUF partnership form other than LLP. So here in ITR forms we are excluding the LLP and excluding the LLP from the partnership form always. If any these fellows having the business income, they have to file the ITR 3 only. For the purpose of filing that income tax return, they have to use that what ma? ITR 3. Next, quoting of the permanent account number is compulsory in the following transaction. I said that already. Quoting of PAN number in which transaction we haven't one list. Now in these transactions we have to quote that what ma? PAN number. But remember, yes, sale of, okay, we can verify the theory ma. Sale of immovable property or purchase of immovable property, both the buyer and seller required to quote the PAN number. When ma? Yes, you can verify the next page. I think you will get the sale or purchase of immovable property. If exceeding 10 lakh, we can quote. But here, can you tell me what is that 4 lakh? That's why PAN quoting is not required here. Next one. Time deposits up to 35,000, but time deposits, can you tell me up to how much? 50,000. That's why here also PAN not required to quote. But if you are paying the life insurance premium, exceeding 50,000 in an financial year, definitely for in any year, if you are paying the life insurance premium, if that exceeding the 50,000, definitely we need to quote the PAN number. Here also they are given the 50,000. So that's why we need to quote that what PAN number here. What is the provision? Section 139A. Remember, important, they will give you always, but not in our study material. This content is not in our study material, but still they are given the questions. Assessment is not completed. Revised return can be filed at any time 3 months prior to end of the relevant assessment year, that is 31st 12 of an assessment year. Yes, company having the loss, sir, can you tell me companies irrespective of the loss, irrespective of the profits, can you tell me company, partnership firm, LLP, even though they have in the loss, even though they have in the profit also, yes, we have to file the return of income. We have to file the return of income. So for all companies, can you tell me they are given? So all companies, companies means here domestic company, foreign company, any company also required to file the return of income within the due date under section 139 subsection 1. So nothing but domestic companies needs to file, no. Foreign companies, no. Department if issued, then only they will file, no. All companies required to file the return of income before the due date. What is the due date? 31st 10 of an assessment year. Next, due date of furnishing of a return of income, partner of a firm whose required accounts are subject to what audit. So example here, not example, explanation. Partnership firm having the tax audit under section 44 AB. What is the due date for them? 31st 10 of an assessment year. So now for the partners also, what is the due date is applicable? What is the due date is applicable? Remember, what is the due date? 31st October of assessment year only. Next, return of income cannot be revised by the SSC. Can you tell me? Return of income cannot be revised. Sir, remember, original return you can revise, loss return you can revise, belated return you can revise, Revised return also you can revise. That means all the things you can revise under section what ma 139(5), but here they are given none of the above. Answer is none of the above. Individual is now absent from India, then return can be verified by the any person duly authorized. That's why any authorized person. Any authorized person can sign on the return of income. Sir, can you tell me 139(4) return can be called as what ma? Belated return. What is that? Belated return. Ma, they are asking the 234A interest. So I will tell you in that advanced tax and interest, this MCQ will already classified in the advanced tax and interest chapter. Why ma? If you are not filed the return of income within the due date, normally the return of income due date is nothing but what ma? 31st July. But you file the return of income in a late manner. You file the return of income in what ma? Late manner. Can you tell me? That's why you have to pay the interest under section 234A. Interest under section 234A. I will tell you this MCQ related explanation in the advanced tax and interest chapter. Already this MCQ in the that related chapter also, don't think about it. Okay. Now, next one. 1% per month, part of the month only. The remaining explanation I will tell you on that occasion. Don't think about it. Now, so total income 10 lakh exceeding is there. What is the fees ma? If they are paying, if they are filing the return of income on or after the due date, then what is that? 5,000 under section 234F. So now, if any SSE is ESMA required to submit the 92E audit report, then for them his due date is 30th 11 of what ma? Assessment year. If any SSE entered into the transfer pricing provisions, he is required to submit the 92E audit report. Sir, if he not given the 92E audit report within the time, he has to pay the penalty under section 271BA. What is the penalty ma? 1 lakh fixed penalty. So just I am given the cross verification ma. Cross reference I am given. Penalty is nothing but 271BA 1 lakh. So can be carry forward even if return of income is filed after the due date. Can you tell me? These are all the things can carry forward if you file the return of income on or before due date only. On or before the what ma? Due date only. But can you tell me unabsorbed depreciation or house property loss you can carry forward even if you are filed the return of income? Yes ma, after due date also, but the return of income must be required. Next, which one of the following can be revised? All returns can be revised. All returns can be revised. So now, what is the last date for the filing of return of income of an individual? 31st 7 of what ma? Assessment year. 31st 7 of assessment year. Return can be filed after the due date is called as what ma? Belated return. So I think sir, we have to file the return of income for the various entities like company, partnership firm, individual, etc. So generally how many due dates are available ma? 3 due dates, that is on 31st 7 of assessment year. Yes, that is on 31st October of assessment year and 30th 11 of and what ma? Assessment year. Generally how many due dates are available? 3. Return of income of a company needs to be verified by the, so normally managing director. If managing director is not available, any director also, managing director means nothing but what ma? Who is involving in the working affairs of the company. Next, due date of the return of income of a company having the business loss. Can you tell me due date? So even though they have in the business loss also, company always required to file the return of income 31st 10 of and what ma? Assessment year on or before. Return of income filing is mandatory for the company irrespective of the profit, loss, size, turnover, etc. Next one ma. Following is not mandated to file the return of income. Can you tell me? They are given the one question. So out of these options, one person is not required to file. Company ma, mandatorily we have to file the return of income. Next one, Manohar having the age of 66 years. So can you tell me 66 years total income before chapter 6A deduction, that means gross total income. Yes, that is an exceeded the basic exemption limits are here. if you follow the 115 BAC also, if you follow the old rates also, basic exemption limit is 3 lakh only. So definitely that income is more than basic exemption limit. That's why return of income is required to file. So who is travel to Dubai, 4,50,000 travel expenses incurred. I think you know special transaction, foreign travel expenses incurred. 1 lakh more than, sorry, 2 lakh more than you are required to file the return of income. Foreign travel expenditure incurred exceeds 2 lakh. So next, if Sita is a non-resident having that assets in India as an assets in outside India, so she is receiving any income. But if they are given the resident and the ordinary resident here, required to file, but here they are given the non-resident, that's why return of income is not required. Travel expenditure is 2 lakh, electricity expenses 1 lakh. So, but Sita is not a resident and ordinary resident. Here in the question they are given the non-resident. That's why in that case return of income is not required. So, this is the same MCQ they are given again in that our MQP also. That's why I repeated. Answer is nothing but what ma? Non-resident. So, nothing but if they are given as a resident, that fellow also required to file the return of income, because resident and ordinary resident, if they are having that any asset outside India, for that asset, she may be acted as a beneficiary or beneficial owner. Definitely she required to file the return of income, but they are given the what ma? Non-resident. That's why, yes, definitely here return of income is not required. So, with this, our second chapter, that is the return of income, is also over. Are you clear, ma? With this, our second chapter is also over. Are you clear up to now? Please give me confirmation if you are getting the clarity about the any MCQ. Yes, then I can start the further chapters also. If you have any doubt, yes, you can ask. So within the limited discussions only, you can ask the any doubt if you have. Otherwise, we can start the what ma? Next chapter, that is an income tax authorities. So after the live session, shall we keep these MCQs in private mode? There is no reason. Many students are postponing the things. Like, okay, if they are not attending for the live, that's okay, their wish only. But they are postponement of things. Okay, we have an option, we can listen day before exam also. But they will not do that things. Postponement of things, sir. So today, if you have an option, yes, you are watching, that's okay. So many students are postponement, means tomorrow we can do, a day after tomorrow we can do, exam before night we can do wonders. Nothing will do, they will sleep early, or they will engage in the phone also. They will not do anything with respect to the study. 2x would, Ishwar, I can say one thing, you are a regular batch student. If I am saying anything like speed also, if I am putting that answers directly as a tick mark also, you can understand. But outsiders, that is not possible. 2x, 3x, 4x, all the things only. So just for their satisfaction only. Now, we can start further chapter, that is an income tax authority. It is a small chapter. Now, in this chapter, we have one question. Powers of CBDT under section 1, I will show you, 119, they are given the CBDT constitution and CBDT powers also. There is a small chapter, I will show you. Powers of CBDT under section 119. So 119, they are given the powers of CBDT. So what are the powers of CBDT? Now I am explaining that concept, listen carefully. CBDT is an first and foremost authority in that entire income tax authorities. Entire income tax authorities. So remember, they have a power to give the instructions to the subordinate authorities. They can give the instructions to their subordinate authorities, and they can give the general or special order or directions to their subordinate authorities. I think you know, sir, if you haven't lost business loss, but we are filing the return of income after that expiry of time limit. I think you know, if you haven't business loss, you need to file the return of income within the time limit. But if you file the return of income after the time limit also, we can apply before the CBDT, yes, for getting the condonation of delay in filing of return of income. Yes, they can give the relaxation for that type of things also. So that's why that is one power of CBDT. Can you tell me? I think in return of income we discussed that concept also. What is that concept? If you file the return of income in a late manner after the due date, if you haven't the business loss, yes, you can apply for the condonation of genuine causes related delay for 1 day. Yes, that power is that condonation of delay relaxation power can be given by the whom? CBDT. Next, they can control the overall income tax authorities by issuing the notification, and yes, CBDT have a power to give the relaxation of any provisions in the heads of income, any provisions in the chapter 6A deductions also. They can exempt the anything. They can exempt the any provision also for the particular SSE, for particular SSE. Yes, Nani Ravi, exactly. If you have in the business loss, that is a more than how much amount, ma? 3 crores, then you can apply. Yes, you can apply before the CBDT for the condonation of dilemma. So now they are given the MCQ. Yes, what is that power? Instructions to the subordinate authorities, power only. We can issue the general or special order, power. Admit the application or claim after the expiry of time limit. These are all our powers only. That's why answer is what, ma? All the above. Yes, what is that powers, ma? Again I am repeating, please listen carefully. Instructions to subordinate authorities by issuing the order or direction. That order can be given as a general or special order also. We can admit the application even after the expiry of time limit also. We can get the relaxation of any heads of income related provisions as well as chapter 6A also. And they can issue the notification in official gazette, and they can control all the income tax authorities also. Now, again the same MCQ, same concept. Which one of the following is not a power of CBDT? I think you know, relaxation of provisions relating to, yes, chapter 6A reduction or heads of income related chapter 6A, that is a power. Relaxation of filing of return of income after the due date also, it is a power. But remember, there is no provision for, there is no relaxation of provision for set off of losses. That means, yes, normally we can set up the business loss, we can carry forward the business loss, and we can set up only for 8 assessment years. That cannot be, yes ma'am, modified by the CBDT. So set off of losses related power, relaxation of an provisions relating to set off of losses, that power is not vested under section 119. That is nothing but what, ma? Powers of CBDT. Are you clear, ma? No, ma. If anyone wants to get this PDF, so you have to download my application, that is in Bhaskar classes, and you can purchase the soft copy of the book only. The reason is nothing but nearly 2,500 students are purchased this book. If I am releasing that, unnecessary disturbances I can get, number of messages I can get from the students, or if you are saying before we cannot purchase, but earlier we purchased from you, please give refund, etc. words also I want to take. I don't want to take that type of things, and I want a piece of life. That's why I don't want to do. Yes, you can purchase the e-books from my application, and within that you can get the MCQ as well as handwritten content workbook and concept book also you can do, ma. Next, remember, which one of the following is not considered as an income tax authority? As important discussion, remember. Yes, ma. In your free time, you can refer, ma. First and foremost authority in that income tax authority is CBDT. Yes, after the CBDT, we have an assessment wing as well as we have an what, ma? Investigation wing. The first and foremost authorities will be started from hierarchy and ended also. You have to remember. You have to remember. But now Now I want to tell you one thing. Yes. So these are the authorities can be called as what my assessing officer. That means below commissioner of income tax, below commissioner of income tax appeal, below director of income tax. Yes, these are all authorities can be called as what ma any one of these authority can be acting as an AO. Here also the same level, additional joint commissioner, deputy commissioner, as well as what ma assistant commissioner, income tax officer, any one of the fellow can be acted as what ma AO. Remember, always AO is subordinate to the whom ma these two authorities. Who is an ordinate to that AO ma? These authorities. Can you tell me? Yes, below the AO, we have these two authorities, income tax inspector as well as tax recovery officer. Ma, if you want to follow any schedule, you can follow. Don't ask specific questions related to, sir, give that MCQs chapter. I can't do. I given one schedule. As per that schedule only, I will follow. Okay. Next. So SSC given the order, so SSC filed the return of income. What is the tax he paid? 1 lakh. But after the completion of assessing of assessment, assessing officer given the assessment order, sir, you have to pay the extra tax of 1,50,000. That's why they are issued that what my demand notice. That's why they are issued the demand notice. Remember, so now I paid 1 lakh tax, sir. I done that all the computations correct only, but they are asking 1,50,000 extra tax from me. So that's why SSC can accept this order, or SSC can go for the what ma appeals. Can you tell me what are the appellate authorities we have? Joint Commissioner of Income Tax Appeals and the Commissioner of Income Tax Appeals, ITAT, High Court, Supreme Court. Remember, these four are appellate authorities, but remember, first level of appellate authority can be treated as income tax authority also, because yes ma, Commissioner of Income Tax Appeals as well as Joint Commissioner of Income Tax Appeals, yes, they can be acting as an appellate authorities, as well as they can act as an what ma income tax authority also. But next three authorities only what ma appellate authorities, not a income tax authority. So now I will tell you, these four are can be called as what ma appellate authorities. These four can be called as what ma appellate authorities. But remember, yes, as well as first authority can be called as income tax authority also. Next three levels cannot be called as income tax authority. So now one point, Joint Commissioner of Income Tax and Commissioner of Income Tax Appeals always appellate as well as income tax authority. Our answer also now, yes, these are all are what ma income tax authorities only. But who is not an income tax authority? ITAT. Central Board of Direct Taxes consists of how many members? One chairman and 6 members ma. One chairman and 6 members. We have one chairman and 6 members. Can you tell me what is which one is a power of CBDT? Powers of CBDT mentioned in section 119. These are all our powers only. Yes, they can give the instructions to the subordinate. They can give the general order or special order. They can admit the application even after expiry of time limits also. CBDT means nothing but what ma Central Board of Direct Taxes. Yes, section 130 is dealing with the what ma faceless jurisdiction of income tax authority. So normally section 120, yes, section 120 is given the yes jurisdiction of income tax authorities. Yes, section 120 is given the what ma jurisdiction of income tax authority. Section 120. But what about the faceless normal income tax authorities jurisdiction? They are describing in the section 120. Then what about the face to face? The face to face jurisdiction is clearly given in the faceless jurisdiction is given in the section 130. Yes, I think you are also getting boring, Krishna. Clear? Bear with me half an hour, then we can close, and you can plan with the other class also. Other class or other revisions also. So are you clear with this 7 MCQs we have? That 7 MCQs also done. Remember, in this chapter you can get the powers of CBDT related content. Please prepare. What is the section numbers for the powers of CBDT? 119. Income tax authorities chapter is also over. Now we can start the assessment procedure. Don't think about the, sir, we are not revised that assessment procedure, how we can understood, sir. So that's why I'm planning you. Yes, we can do that theory background discussion, then we can do that answer. Directly we can't pick the answers. Now first MCQ, time limit for completion of best judgment assessment. Remember, best judgment assessment is section 144 ma. Time limits for completion of an assessment is given in 153. So we can open the 153 section. We can open the 153 section, but in 144 also I given the time limit. I given the time limit in 144 also, but finally, yes, this time limits for completion of all the assessments are given in section 153 ma. Now I will open the 153. Yes, we can start our discussion with the 153. What is the time limit for completion of assessment? Remember, time limits for completion of assessment, scrutiny assessment and best judgment assessment having the same time limit ma. 12 months from the end of the relevant assessment year. Please remember, you can get the time limits MCQ, definitely one MCQ. Next, we have in section 147, that is an income escapement assessment. Yes, here the time limit is stated from the notice received year end within how many months ma? 12 months. Section 147 assessment should start with the sending of notice under section 148. Notice send year end within how many months ma? 12 months. So now our question is 144 assessment time limit they are asking. What is the time limit ma? Within 12 months from the end of the relevant assessment year. So 144 as well as section 143 the same time limit. But what is that 147 assessment time limit ma? 12 months from the end of the financial year. 12 months from the end of the financial year in which 148 notice was what ma? Received. Section 148 notice was received. Clear? So this is only that logically we have to learn all the time limits at once. So that's why here 3 MCQs are covered indirectly. If they are asking this also, you can write in your exam without any doubt. Now, scrutiny assessment 143.3 is done by the SSE. Why we can do the scrutiny assessment ma? Example, SSE not understated his income. Why income tax authority can get the scrutiny assessment? In order to get the confirmation about, sir, SSE is not understated his income, SSE not declared the excessive loss, SSE not underpaid the tax. How they can get these are all the confirmations ma? So if they are done the section 143.3, sir, 143.1 isn't just processing ma, it is not a assessment. Remember, 143.3 is just, we can call it as an processing, or it is an order. It is not an assessment order. It is not a assessment order. It is just called as what ma? Processing. 143.1 is not called as an assessment order. Remember. But next, if you want to get the confirmation about SSE is not disclosed the lower income, SSE not disclosed the excess losses, SSE not paid the under tax. So that means for getting these are all the confirmations, income tax authority needs to do the what ma? Scrutiny assessment. That's why answer is all the above. Next, this is a last attempt MCQ ma. Which of the following can be corrected while processing of a return of income? Processing means section 143.1 ma. While processing the return of income, so we can do certain adjustments. What are the adjustments we can do ma? What are the adjustments we can do? Yes, you can open the 143.3. Sorry, 143.1. Refer. So while processing the return of income, these are all the following adjustments we can make. What are the following adjustment we can make? My first one, arithmetical errors. If any arithmetical errors is there, yes, you can correct. Second one, if you are claiming any incorrect deductions, or if you are claimed any information, if you are claiming any deduction, but if you are not furnished that information, disallowances of losses, if you have filed the loss return after the due date. I think you know business loss is there, but last year you filed the loss return after the due date, that losses you can't carry forward. Next, sir, increasing income or disallowance of expenses indicated in the tax audit report, but that is not indicated in the return of income. Tax auditor clearly saying, yes, you have to increase a certain income and you have to decrease your loss. Sorry, you have to disallowance of an expenditure that said by the whom tax auditor, but that is not reflected in income tax return. And remember, if you file the return of income after the due date, you can't claim the Chapter 6A deduction under the heading C, that is income based Chapter 6A deduction like 80 TTA, 80 TTB, etc. And you can't claim the Section 10AA SEZ deduction also. But if you claimed all the things, we can adjust. Remember, what are the points we can adjust while processing the return of income under Section 143(1)? Arithmetical errors. Second one, incorrect claims. Disallowance of losses if loss return is filed after the due date in the loss incurred year. So if any expenses is disallowed, if any income is increased in tax audit report, but that is not reflected in the return of income, that can be adjusted by the AO in processing. Yes, return filed after the due date, but he claimed the Chapter 6A deduction under the heading C and Section 10AA. In such occasion, definitely what we need to do, we can adjust. These are all the things. But here question is, which one of the following can be corrected? Only we can correct what arithmetical error. Remaining things we can't correct. Error we can't correct. Mistake. For error and mistake is there, what we can do? So from SSC side, SC can file the revised return from SSC side. But assessing officer side, if that is an arithmetical error, he can do that adjustment. He can any claim by the taxpayer which is against the law. Answer is nothing but what? First one, only one thing we can correct as per the theory, that is an arithmetical error. Next, intimation of summary assessment, that is what? Intimation means 143(1). 143(1) is called as an intimation, processing or summary assessment, or we can call it as a summary assessment. So now what is the time limit? Remember the same, intimation shall be sent. Yes, remember, final intimation shall be sent within 9 months from the end of the financial year in which return filed. Return filed year from that end within 9 months. Can you tell me what is that answer? Within 9 months. Are you clear up to now? Summary assessment intimation must be sent within 9 months from the end of the financial year in which the return was what? Filed. Remember, partnership form is there, so that is dissolved in the previous year 24-25 year ending date. Return of income is filed. Yes, maybe tax audit is there, that's why they filed the return of income on 31st/8/2025. Form is selected for the scrutiny assessment. So for the purpose of scrutiny assessment under Section 143(3), for the purpose of doing the scrutiny assessment under Section 143(3), so every assessment should be started with the sending of notice. If you want to conduct the scrutiny assessment, what is the notice we have to send? 143(2) notice we have to send. So this notice needs to be sent to whom? All partners. So needs to be sent to all partners. Example, 4 partners are there. For 4 partners we have to send the notice. No. Working partner? No. Partner having the long association? No. Any partner. If you send a notice to that any partner also, yes, we can start the assessment against the what? Partnership form. In that exam, students are pick that answer as an what? All the partners. That is not correct. So why we need to send the notice to that all the persons? Example, 5 partners are there. For 5 partners, we need to send the notice. No. For any partner, if you send the notice, that's enough. We can start the what ma? Scrutiny assessment. Are you clear? Now, scrutiny assessment notice time limit ma. Remember, scrutiny assessment, I think you know, this assessment needs to be passed within 12 months from the end of the relevant assessment year. The same time limit is maintained for the best judgment assessment 144 also. But now I am talking about the notice for scrutiny assessment. Yes, notice needs to be sent within 3 months from the end of the financial year in which the notice filed. It is a very important, very important. Yes, for doing the scrutiny assessment, you have to send the notice under section 143.2. No, 143.2. Yes, can you tell me within 3 months from the end of the financial year in which the return was filed? Can you tell me answer? 3 months. 3 months from the end of the financial year in which the return was filed. Yes, we need to send the notice under 143.2. Next MCQ. 144C, that is a dispute resolution panel. Ma. Yes, can you tell me if yes, 2 SSEs only, the non-resident including foreign company, non-resident including foreign company. Second one, if any person having the transfer pricing case related issues, yes, they can appeal before the whom DRP. Why, sir? These persons are very important for us in order to bring the foreign currency to India. So that's why if they have any dispute with the AO order, suppose SSEs, these are the SSEs are received the assessment order from the AO. Assessment order from the AO. So they are not accepted the assessment order. So that's why directly they can refer this case to whom? DRP, Dispute Resolution Panel. In this Dispute Resolution Panel, 3 Commissioner of Income Taxes will be there. So they will resolve the disputes about this eligible SSE. What is that alternative dispute resolution mechanism? This is only the DRP. Why they are calling it as an alternative dispute resolution mechanism? Can you tell me if any appeal needs to be filed? First we have to make an appeal to the JCIT or as well as what ma CIT. So next ma ITIT, next ma High Court, next ma Supreme Court. Next Supreme Court. Can you tell me this is an all SSEs can go. All SSEs, if they are not agreeing with the AO order, they can appeal first with the JCIT, ITIT, High Court, Supreme Court. But non-resident or foreign company or if any SSE engaging in the transfer pricing cases, yes, they can follow this route also. Or if they want to get the fast track resolution, they can apply before whom DRP. So in DRP, I think you know 3 Commissioner of Income Taxes will be there. Yes, instead of going through the normal route, yes, you can apply before the DRP. The DRP constitutional provisions under section 144C is there. Against the DRP, again you have to follow that what ma ITIT, High Court, Supreme Court. Alternative dispute resolution mechanism is there. Dispute is there between the AO and these SSE. Alternative, this is a normal route. Alternatively, we are given the dispute resolution panel. Are you clear this MCQ ma? Next ma. So this will be in the appeals chapter. So this will be in appeals chapter in the form of rectification. In the form of what ma? Rectification. I will tell you. If AO, CIT, CIT appeals, if they are passing any order, if any mistake which is apparent on the record, yes, in this order, if any mistake is there, that mistake now they can rectify by using the what ma rectification under section 154 within how many years ma? 4 years. Important MCQ. Last attempt, the same MCQ they are given in that exam. So can you tell me the rectification by the income tax authorities, if any mistake which is an apparent on the order, that can be rectified by using section 154. Now for time being I will tell you this is an order mistake which is an apparent on the record that can be rectified by the section 154. Now ITIT is there ma. ITIT is passed that order. In that order one mistake is there. So like date mistake or calculation mistakes, computational mistakes, etc. Now that can be rectified by using which section ma? That can be rectified or rectification by using section 254. Rectification by using which section ma? 254. Are you clear? If AO order containing the mistake, or if any CIT or CIT appeals order containing the mistake, that can be rectified by that authorities only under section 154. Now, if ITIT having that, order, in that order, if any mistake is there, that can be rectified by using that what ma? 154. Now, regular assessment. Can you tell me? Regular assessment means nothing but scrutiny assessment ma? So scrutiny assessment having the another name, that's why you have to remember the another names also. Scrutiny assessment. So regular assessment means nothing but scrutiny assessment ma. Yes, that is under section 143.3. Next, assessing officer has a reason to believe that income chargeable to escaped from the tax in any assessment year. Now they can start the section 147 ma, that is only we can call it as income escapement assessment, reopening of cases, or we can call it as what ma? Reassessment also. Other names are very important. Reopening of what ma? Cases, or we can call it as an reassessment, or we can call it as an income escapement assessment. Income escapement assessment. Now, so this is an extension of time limits ma. If an assessment is required to complete it within the time limit, I think you know 153 section is given the time limits. Yes, you have to complete the assessment within the 12 months from the end of the relevant assessment year, or 12 months within that 148 notice received. But says ma, these following period shall be excluded. Yes, that is given in the at the end of the notes ma. Yes, some time limits can be extended while calculating that time limits. That following period shall be excluded. Excluded means automatically from date to date. Yes, our time limits can be extended ma. So example, yes ma, income tax authorities chapter last section, that is an succession of income tax authority. Succession means nothing but what one income tax authority is retired, so that's why some time is wasted. So nothing but what Mr. A is an assessing officer, he is unfortunately died during that assessment procedure. Now one more person needs to be appointed as an assessing officer. That is only succession of income tax authority. Whatever the time wasted within the 12 months duration, so now the 12 months can be extended with that whatever the time is wasted because of the succession. Next, if any court is given the stay order, during the stay order also some months is wasted, that months can be extended. So automatically, yes, we can call it as an following period shall be excluded means automatically we are getting that extension of time limit for completion of assessment. Scrutiny assessment section number is nothing but 143.3. Can you tell me scrutiny assessment other name regular assessment? Regular assessment. Now, which one of the following cannot be adjusted while doing the 143.1? 143.1 means what ma? Intimation. Yes, we can call it as an what ma? Intimation, processing, or we can call it as an what ma? Summary assessment. What is that? Summary assessment. These are all the things, yes, we can do adjust, but one thing we can't do adjust ma. What is that ma? Remember, any arithmetic incorrect claims, yes, we can. Arithmetical errors, yes, we can adjust. Any expenditure is disallowed in audit report and not adjusted while filing the return of income, we can adjust. But this cannot be adjusted ma. That is any income appearing in the 26 years but not included in the total income. Yes, we can't do that adjustment while doing that section 143 subsection 1. Now, they are given the one question ma. Remember, it is an important. Return filed on 30th September 2025. So that is selected for the regular assessment, means scrutiny assessment. What is the time limit for sending of the notice under section 143.2 ma? Yes. So nothing but return filed, yes ma, year ending. Can you tell me that is 31st March 2026? From the end of the relevant, from the end of the financial year in which the return filed, within how many months, ma? 3 months. That is nothing but 30th 6 2026. Within this time limit, they need to send the 143.2 notice for the purpose of conducting that what, ma? 143.3 assessment. 143.3 assessment. Are you clear? Now, I want to give the assessments, ma, but this is not an assessment. 143.1 is nothing but called as an processing, or we can call it as an intimation, or we can call it as an what, ma? Summary assessment. Summary assessment. What is the time limit, ma? The final intimation needs to be sent within the 9 months from end of relevant assessment year in which from the end of the financial year in which ROI filed. So 143 to notice for 143.3. What is the time limit, ma? 3 months from the end of the financial year in which the return was filed. 143.3 is called as regular assessment, or we can call it as an what, ma? Scrutiny assessment. Can you tell me it should be completed 12 months from, within 12 months from end of relevant assessment year? Yes, 144 is a best judgment assessment. It also should be completed within this time only. 147 is an income escapement assessment procedure. Income escapement assessment procedure, or we can call it as a reopening of cases, or we can call it as an what, ma? Reassessment. What is the time limit for completion of income escapement, ma? 12 months only, within 12 months only from the end of year in which 148 notice was received. 148 notice was received. Just I am given the summary, ma, but you can write, you have an contents of all the things as a summary of that entire time limits you have in our handwritten notes. You can verify that page number 90. You can verify our page number 90. Are you clear? 143.1 processing. Yes, if you remember one name, that will not be worked out in exam. So that's why you have to remember all the time limits, all the section numbers, as well as time limits also. Are you clear? Yes, assessment procedures related MCQs also done. How many MCQs we have? But 14 MCQs only, but we covered the many sections as well as the time limits. No one can remember the section numbers, time limits with the one revision, ma. If you are doing the multiple revisions and if you are writing as a gist or summary also, then you can remember for the long time. Till that examination, if you are remember these time limits, that's enough. Now, so I want to start the next chapter and last chapter for today, that is on search, seizure and survey. Search, seizure and survey. We have 10 MCQs, but background we have to discuss more and more in this chapter, ma. Listen carefully. Survey conducted under section 133A, normal survey in the premises of ABC and Co. So, whose prior authorization is required for conducting that what, ma? Survey. Now I will open the handwritten summary for knowing all these answers. What is that section, ma? 133A survey. Okay, 133 133A survey can be conducted for getting that what ma information from the SSE. So now who can give the authorization ma? Please check it out. So for conducting the survey, authorization can be given by the Commissioner of Income Tax or Chief Commissioner of Income Tax or Principal Chief Commissioner of Income Tax. Director General of Income Tax or Principal Director General of Income Tax. These fellows only needs to give the authorization for the survey. Can you tell me what is that answer, ma? So either PCCIT can give or CCIT can give authorization. In director swing, can you tell me Principal Director General of Income Tax or Director General of Income Tax can give? But within these options, can you tell me which one is a suitable authority can give the authorization for conducting the survey, ma? Principal Chief Commissioner of Income Tax. Now, second MCQ. Search conducted in the premises of AB Jewelers, ma, on 5/6/2024. In the following unaccounting items, that means undisclosed items are found. One is on cash on hand, another one is on promissory note, and another one is what ma? Land documents. And they found the excess jewelry for the jewelry business. Yes, what is that? Jewelry is what ma? Stock in trade. Yes, out of the following cannot be seized one thing, ma. The remaining all the things can be seized. Survey is conducted and now we want to do the search is conducted. After the completion of search, we want to do that what ma? Seizure only. But all the things we can seize except one asset, ma. So that is an powers of authorized officer. Under the search concept we have, ma. Under the search and seizure concept we have an powers of authorized officer. What is that powers of authorized officer, ma? He can seize the books, documents, money, bullion, jewelry, other valuable articles except stock in trade. So that's why other than stock in trade, all the things he can seize. All the things he can seize. Are you clear? Now, section 131 subsection 3. Section 131 subsection 3. Remember, section 131 is in first section, ma. Section 131 is in first section, is nothing but containing the powers of IT authority regarding the discovery and production of evidences. Sir, if you want to get the any information, yes, from the SSE, you can use the 142 subsection 1 power, or you can use the what, ma? 131 powers also. Anyone you can use, ma. You can send the 141 notice and you can call for the books and documents, or you can issue the summons under section 131 and you can call records. But now they are asking the question, yes, under section 131 subsection 1, yes, what are the powers we have, ma? So whatever the civil court having as an powers, that all the powers also now lies in the hands of income tax authority. As per that power, we can't seize the books, ma, but we can impound the books and the documents. That too for how many working days, ma? 15. Not assets, ma. We can impound the books and the documents only, not assets. Not taken over also, sorry, not seizure, ma, just we can taken over the books of accounts and documents, maximum 15 working days only. Now answer is nothing but yes, income tax authority can retain the books of accounts in his custody after recording the reasons or after obtaining the approval also for maximum how many working days, ma? 15. After 15 working days you have to surrender that books to the SSE only. Are you clear? Now 132 subsection 4. So now can you tell me examination on oath of a person can be searched, can be done by, that means search, ma. 132 means nothing but search. Can you tell me search can be conducted by whom? They are asking the question, search procedure can be conducted by whom? Yes, ma. Search related authorization needs to be given by this person, but who needs to conduct the search procedure in the premises of the SSE, ma? Authorized officer. That is only called as what, ma? Authorized person. Now we can call it as an AO. Sir, authorization given persons are different, but who needs to go with that? Nothing but they will give you the search warrant, ma. So this person will go for the search with that warrant. Now, so next, remember 133A is called as a normal survey, ma. 133A is called as normal survey. 133 Yes ma, 133, wait, 133 is there, and now 133b also there. These three sections are important ma. 133 is nothing but, in this chapter all are powers only. In 133a, what is that power ma? Power of survey. 133 is nothing but power to call information. Sir, if you want to get any information, yes, you haven't power of calling such information from the SSE. Now 133b is power to collect information, power to collect such information. Alright. Power to collect such information. So this is a more authoritative ma. Yes, I will situate in my office only. I can call information. I can call information. Second one, I can collect the information. That means for the getting this information, I will go to that SSE premises ma. So that's why it is called as normal survey. It is called as a door-to-door survey. Yes, in your institute material only this terminology is given. So that's why don't forget what is that door-to-door survey ma. 133b, yes, power to collect information only can be called as what ma? Door-to-door survey. Now what is that answer? Door-to-door survey 133. Sir, survey under section 133a, that means what survey ma? Normal survey. So now, sir, for doing the survey, you have to enter into the two places ma. You can enter into the two places. The first one, place of business or profession, or place where the books of accounts are kept place. You can enter into the premises of the SSE for conducting the survey for two places ma. One is in place of business or profession. Second one, place where the books of accounts are kept. So there is an entry restriction ma. If you want to enter into the place of business or profession, yes, you have to enter during the business hours. If you want to enter into the where the books of accounts are kept, after sunrise or before sunset only. Yes, based on this they are given the one MCQ ma. Income tax authority may enter into a place that is treated as a deeming as a business or profession is carried out. That means what ma? Sir, if the business or profession is carried out, yes, business hours, but we are entered into a place other than this, that is where we are kept that what ma? Books of accounts. This is only deeming to be treated as doing the business place. Can you tell me here what is that entry restriction ma? After sunrise. Yes ma, after sunrise, but before what ma? Sunset. Before what ma? Sunset. Remember, here many students are confusing, sir. Here business or profession carried on place. Not. We are treating as a business or profession is carried on this place. This is only deemed to be treated as business or profession is carried out. Why we are entered into this place ma? Here books of accounts are kept. That means we are treating this place also as a business or profession is carried on. So that's why what is the time limit or entry restriction ma? So after sunrise, before sunset. Next one. Section 132. All the assets can be seized except one asset, that is what ma? Stock in trade. Now remember 132b. After doing the seizure, how we can utilize the assets? After doing the seizure, how you can utilize the assets? Assets can be classified into, yes ma, documents, books. Next one, money, bullion, jewelry, or any other valuable articles. That's why this is convertible into money. This is just for the purpose of assessment. We are doing that what ma? Seizure. Now here, what is the question ma? As per section 132b, portion of the assets shall be released within how many days? Yes, here blank is there. Within how many days from the last authorization for the search was executed, or 132a is called as a requisition ma. Sir, can you tell me within how many days they can release the assets? If that is an explained assets, after adjusting against the existing tax liability, within 120 days they can release ma. I will explain the things ma. So how many assets are seized ma here? 10 assets. Out of the 10 assets, we are given the proper explanation for the 4 assets and we are not giving any explanation for 6 assets. So that's why that explanation also you should do within 30 days from the assets so seized. Yes, we are given that explanation within 30 days ma. Nature and source of an purchase also we said, that's why explained assets. These explained assets should be released after adjusting that existing tax liability. We can release that assets within how many days ma? 120 days. Then what about the unexplained assets, sir? There is no time limit, sir. So after adjusting that existing tax liability, new tax liability, first we can utilize the money. Then after, if that money is not sufficient, then we can sold the asset and we can utilize for settling of the tax liability. The remaining assets we can do hand it over, but there is no time limit, ma. What about the books of accounts, ma? We have to hand it over. These are all the things within how many days? 30 days. Within how many days, ma? 30 days. That is already reasonable charge, sir. Sir, I am saying one thing to all of you. If I am created the separate course for the concept book, workbook, yes, next handwritten and MCQ, you don't know, nearly I will get nearly 500 inquiries for every day. So if I am not giving the reply, so still I will show you my phone also. I am in class. Still I am receiving the messages and phone calls. I am unable to do that all the queries related answers, sir. That's why one course only I created. If anything is happened, yes, automatically that can be clarified by me only. So reasonable charge means, yes, I placed it at a 400, the soft copy. Hard copies is 999. So this is a reasonable charge only. Don't ask again and again. Not only you, many queries are regarding that only. Don't think about it, and you can purchase with that amount also, no problem. Now, remember, so release of the assets or how we can utilize the seized assets, remember. If that is on books and accounts, within how many days we can release, ma? 30 days. If that is explained assets, the explanation should be given within 30 days. After that explanation, within 120 days, you should release that assets, ma. Unexplained asset, there is no time limit. That's why answer is 120. Now remember, 133A, normal survey. Normal survey. So can you tell me, during the normal survey, can you seize the assets? No. What is the powers of IT authorities while conducting the survey, ma? You can do impound and retain the books and documents after recording the reason, maximum 15 days. If you conducted the search, then you can do the what, ma? Seizure. Seizure of assets as well as what, ma? Books also. But except what, ra? Stock entry. If you conducted the survey, if you conducted the what, ma? Survey, what we can do, ma? Only we can do impound. Only we can do impound. That too, books and documents only. Books and documents only, not assets. That too 15 working days. This is only MCQ. But after recording the reasons only, yes, you have to say the reason why we are going for impoundment also. Why we are going for an impoundment also, you have to tell the reasons. Then only you can do that impoundment for 15 working days, ma. Next, this question. Yes. Last MCQ, refer clearly. This is an MTP MCQ, ma. Recently given MTP MCQ. Please check it out. Assessing officer within this jurisdiction, he surveyed a popular cyber cafe at 2 a.m. Wait. For the purpose of what, ma? Collecting information seeking purpose only, we can call and we can collect that information, ma. Cyber cafe is kept open for every day, that is in 3 p.m. to 3 a.m. So now can you tell me 3 p.m. to 3 a.m. Yes, we entered into that premises for during the business hours only. Now he impounded and retained the He impounded and retained the custody of books, other documents after the recording the reasons for 13 days. Which one of the following statement is correct? Remember, he is entering into the business hours and he have an impoundment right also under section what ma 133A. That is correct only. Sir, we entered to the place of business ma during business hours only, and under section 133A we have an power to impoundment of books of accounts for how many working days ma? 15 working days. That all the things are what ma? Correct only. That option A is correct. You can verify all other options ma, that is not correct. So they are saying cyber cafe you are entered at 2 a.m. is not in order. That's why this option is wrong. Next. Yes ma, they are saying entering impound of books of accounts directly. That means they are saying entering is also wrong. And yes ma, impoundment is also wrong. That is not correct. So nothing but what ma? Yesing officer action in order, but books of accounts is not in order. That means what ma? Option 1 is correct. We can enter into the place of business during that what ma? Business hours, because we are entering into the place of business during the business hours. That is in order. Now, and we haven't power of taking that impoundment of books after recording the reasons within 15 working days. That is also correct. So now we done with the all the MCQs related to search, seizure and survey also. Can you tell me? So total how many chapters are done? 5 chapters are done. Tomorrow we can take the few more chapters. If you have any doubts, yes. Sir, remember I am unable to explain the entire the chapter revision in the MCQs, but whenever we have a background discussion, so background discussion means I will tell you one simple example. Here, yes, 132B. What is that? 132B. Utilization of seized asset. Application or utilization of what ma? Seized asset. So, application or use of what ma? Seized assets. So, on that occasion, we go to that what ma? Provision. Yes, we have an money is there as well as assets is there. Out of that assets, explained assets are there. Out of that assets, unexplained assets are there. So these are all the things are what we discussed. So I'm saying this is only if you know the background of the theory of every MCQ somewhat, definitely you will get 26 marks. The remaining two, luckily if you are correct, if you are getting the correct also, then out of 30 you will get. It is possible only. So that is only the discussion from my side. Yes, tomorrow we can meet at the same time for discussing the few more MCQs related to few chapters. Ma. Thank you. Have a nice day. Yes. Sir, whatever the chapters you want, you can revise, sir. As per my schedule, I will go because I want to cover the multiple chapters revision at the same time. Your thinking is different, my thinking is different. Okay. If you want to do the revision as per that, yes, you can go, no issue. After few days, you can refer the chapters also. There is no restriction, there is no compulsion also. But my regular students, fast track students, the many students are there. So regular chapter revisions I want to cover few, and MCQs if I want to cover that few, so ultimately they can cover the maximum benefit. That's why I'm going in this order. No problem. Tomorrow we can meet and tomorrow we can discuss the as per our timetable, whatever the chapters we have, that only we can discuss. Thank you.